Good morning. This is Bobby Dupre with the Bobby Dupre Show, presented to you each Thursday morning at 7 a.m. And of course, it replays in its entirety on Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. Many of you, of course, are watching it by way of internet. Maybe your computer, maybe your iPhone, iPad, all those different devices that you can use out there, as long as you're connected to internet. You can watch the Bobby Dupre Show actually 24 hours a day after it's first shown. And we certainly recommend it if you hear that your name was mentioned or a friend was mentioned and you say, well, I want to get in, I want to get it. And actually you can speed it up on the computer, right?
Jump ahead,
you can
or
jump
rewind,
ahead,
or
rewind,
whatever.
do whatever you want. You're in control at that point. Right now we're in control.
Good morning.
We're
not in control of the ink pen, though, but we caught it, so I guess it's all right.
That's right. Andrew Guitro, sidekick.
Good morning. How are you?
We, of course, let's start off by getting a couple, 2 or 3 of our good sponsors. They make all of this happen, and they pay for it, and we appreciate that very much.
I can handle that.
Thank
How about
you.
Carl's Thrifty Way right out the gate? You know, I talked a little bit about it. If you're looking for some nausea medicine, Carl's has got that good cream that you can apply to your wrist to help you with nausea. They've got compounding available, where if you got multiple prescriptions with your pharmacist, they can take multiple prescriptions, make them easy to take in one easy to take pill or compound or a liquid for you, nice and easy. They've got over-the-counter medications as well. They've got home decorating ideas and gifts, lots of different gifts. You know, it's that time of the year, fall is coming up. You're starting to pick up gifts for birthdays and for the holidays. Go by Carl's and you'll find great decorating ideas as well. And how about LHC Group, all your home health care?
Oh, we have got some pictures.
Of what? Of Carl's?
Of
we
Carl's.
do. Let's go. Let's
we
do
have
that.
Pictures.
I'm glad you said it.
I walked in to pick up a...
Here.
There you go, right there. They are just stocking up on their Saints paraphernalia, and also on the Raging Cajuns.
And the LSU Tigers.
And the LSU Tigers. They've got it all right there at Carl's. And they have a good selection, and they keep a good selection, and they, I guess they go by the seasons. Right now, it's football season.
That's right. And LHC Group, all your home health care needs, if you're looking for the nurses, the therapists, if you're looking for the equipment from the special beds, the chairs, the oxygen equipment, they've got all that for you available as well. They've got palliative care, they've got hospice care available throughout the entire United States. Go by Louisiana Healthcare Group. It's all about helping people, and they also have the Health and Wellness Center here in Annapolis for your full exercise, from tennis to racquetball to getting on the machines, everything there.
When we take our minute break, our first minute break, let's try to locate a picture. I was walking out of Mass in Vidalia this past Sunday, and a picture was taken of, I think there were 3 people, and maybe myself was in the picture. And one of the younger ladies, in fact, she had just been performed. She became a Eucharistic minister, and he did it at Mass. I had never seen that performed at Mass. And also, the baby was christened during the Mass. And he explained that the reason that he likes to do it because they are members of the family.
They've joined the church. They've joined the full church.
And this baby is being accepted as of that moment as a member of the church. I've never seen it. I've always had to wait till after Mass around here.
When you go to St. Landry Church, it's one of the oldest churches around. When you walk in the door, on your right is the little place where they baptize. The reason that was right there was you couldn't just come into church if you weren't baptized in the old days. You had to be a member. So you'd come in the door, they'd baptize you right there, and then you could walk into the main church. You know,
why they don't do it during the Mass?
Probably just time. Just time.
Anyhow, there was a young lady and her son, and she worked for LHC Group here, and her husband worked for several years on the development of the horse ranch that Ginger and Keith have. Phones?
The phone. Excuse me, phone was buzzing. I just pressed stop.
Right.
So it stopped
Right.
buzzing.
Yeah, that's the Lake Charles auto. I need to take that off. I don't need that.
We're also giving away.
So let's make sure we try to find that picture
We will do
somewhere.
it. We're also giving away some tickets. The Appaloosa Spice and Music Festival is coming up October 4th and 5th at South City Park. Okay, and there's going to be a full festival and all sorts of different events to do. I saw video game tents set up so the kids can play against each other in these video games. But what we're giving away, Joe Diffie is going to be playing. And Thursday night is going to be some music that night. If you want to get a bracelet to get into the festival free, Thursday night, you can text the word SPICE to 64636. It's the word SPICE to 64636, and you get tickets to Thursday's show. So if you're watching on Sunday, you're going to be too late. But Thursday, hit us with it. You got a chance to win.
That's who I'm looking for right here. Miss Corinne Randazza, who was a member of the Red Jackets at SLI. She was one of the beauties there. And we'll find the picture. And then Jones Richardson is a young, and then Tanya Richardson had just been accepted as a Eucharistic minister. And I have a picture of her. And then that's when she mentioned, and her husband is Brand Richardson, and he worked also for LHC. He's the one that worked on the ranch for several years.
Very good. Vanessa Bourdon, you know the Bourdon family has got Bourdon CB and Audio across from King's Truck Stop. They were in Washington, I think, for years and out in this area.
For years.
For years. Her father is Cliff Bellow, or was Cliff Bellow. He bought a piano, or acquired a piano from the old Hicks wagon wheel that was on Highway 167 in Plaisance. Now, I've never seen the Hicks wagon wheel. I was before my time. I don't remember the place. I know the song. There's an old song.
You weren't born yet.
I probably wasn't born, but there's an old song that's Hicks wagon wheel. What Vanessa's looking for, because she has this old piano in the family, she'd love a picture of the old business, the old Hicks wagon wheel on 167 in Plaisance. If you have a copy of that place, give us a call. And this piano was played.
What's the Sylvester worked, I think he might be retired with the health unit here in Appaloosa.
Wiley Sylvester.
Wiley, that's his father and mama that owned
the Hicks wagon wheel?
Hicks wagon wheel. So he might be watching the program
if he's watching,
right
somebody
now.
knows him, find out if we can get a copy of Hicks
Somebody
wagon wheel.
ought to have it, but I always did say Plaisance didn't take a lot of pictures. Ville Platte, right down the highway, took a lot of pictures.
But this piano bounced around from Mr. Cliff to Junior's Bertrand, and back from the Bertrand family, back to the Bourdon family. It was played by Fats Domino, Little Richard. So she just would like to have a picture of the old place where it came from to go with the piano in the house. So if y'all can find that,
good story.
Give us a holler.
Good story.
How about one more? We got Joe Fred. You know, Joe Fred goes all over the countryside, bringing those grandkids to baseball and everything. There was a real neat article in the LA Times, Los Angeles Times, talking about the greatest sports moments in Los Angeles sports history, from the Lakers winning to the UCLA basketball championships, USC with the football. But the number one incident was when the Dodgers beat the Oakland A's in the World Series. When Kirk Gibson came out, he had a bad hamstring and a bad knee, and he could just kind of waddle out, and he comes out to hit the ball. I don't think he could even swing it. He hits the home run, and they win the game. The series gets extended. They end up winning the World Series. Well, in the article that they wrote up in the LA Times about the incident, they talked about the bat boy pitching him to warm him up because he was trying to get in, and Lasorda getting convinced to let him in. But the trick to the play, the pitch was when they got behind in the count. Eckersley was the pitcher for the A's. Everybody remembers Dennis Eckersley. Well, the scout they had was our own coach, Mel Didier. And Mel Didier noticed that Eckersley threw a certain type of pitch when he got behind in the count. So Gibson knew standing. If you watch the film, Gibson says he repeated the line. Coach would always say, Podna, you can watch for this. Okay, and he told him, Podna, you can watch for this. And you watch Gibson step off the plate, and you see his mouth moving. And he says, Podna, you can watch for this. And when he goes back, he swings for that pitch before it's real good out the man's hands, and that's where the ball was. Gibson hits the home run. So Mel Didier is featured in the article as being the man who did it. Beautiful article. I got a copy for you to read.
What
that
a
Joe
man.
Fred sent
What a
us.
man.
Coach Mel Didier.
Thank you, Joe, and Coach. Thank you for teaching us some more of the intestinal fortitude. That was the word
what you
we
like to say?
used back then. Coach Duchamp taught me some intestinal fortitude when he'd line us up against the wall when I was in the 8th grade at boxing at 100 pounds, and he would pound you for about a minute and a half.
Make those stomach muscles tighten up.
And it also made you become a man. If you didn't want to be a man, you got off the tee. Anyhow, we're going to talk about some pictures that we have when we went up to Oak Grove this past weekend.
All right, where you want to go? You want to show some photos right now?
Well, this is a picture right here of lunch, and that was last Thursday, I think it was. Yes, last Thursday. I went to do a voiceover at the Delta Media Center, and the young lady that was in charge of recording my voiceover material, very, very sharp. I mean, just easy, made it easy for me to work with. And of course, Richard Bresley, who is the advertising man that put all of this together, worked with me, and it was a good experience. It was the first time I ever did a voiceover as such. And after that, I said, well, let's go to lunch. So we went to lunch. And in the picture, of course, on the left is yours truly, Bobby. And then next picture is Eddie Blanchard. And then the next gentleman is Carol Robichaud. Carol is a good friend of theirs. In fact, we went to lunch in his beautiful red pick-em-up truck. And then the young man all the way on the right is Danny Milbert, and that's Charlie Shotclan's son-in-law. Charlie was with us but wouldn't get in the picture. Okay, Charlie, you just missed out. This is an opportunity to make some money, because I've got releases and we're going to start selling this at Walmart next Monday. And we had lunch at Julian's Po' Boy, I might add. Maybe the first time I'd ever been.
Oh, really?
And I had the steak po' boy, which is what the waitress recommended. I said, well, I'll take what you recommend. And it was delicious. It was large and very, very good. And saw a few friends that, recognized me and I recognized them. And it was a good visit. And thanks for picking up the tab, Mr. Eddie Blanchard. And one of the owners of Delta Media.
Then we got some pictures from the Southern Club.
Southern Club, SaveTheSouthernClub.com is, if you want to correspond with them, they have a what you call it, a website.
And Facebook page too.
And when I walked in, the first two gentlemen that I ran into was Freddie Herpin on the left, and Herman Fuselier Jr., my neighbor. I saw him when he was born. Day after he was born, he was back home with Matil and Herman Sr.
I saw him a week ago at the LSU game, he and Beth. Good morning.
And this is Mr. Ray Thomasy, and he advised me that he had married his high school sweetheart. They both had gone off in marriage, and I guess the spouses are deceased or whatever. And they met up, Mary Faith Weibel, and he was proud to tell me that. And he's a little bit younger than I was, but as I understand, he graduated from OHS. And Phil and Andre Andrepont with Andrepont Printing, they've done a lot of, I'm sure, gratuitous work trying to help the project. And all the way on the right is Winton Vedrine, long time employee of the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, and held one of the top positions for a long time under several different governors, I might add.
I got to take a 1-minute break, and we're going to come back with more photos from the Save the Southern Club soiree at Toby's Little Lodge.